Bishamonten, the protector of Buddhism and the god of war, there was a daimyo who believed himself to be the reincarnation of the god. True to his cause, he fought not for greed, but for justice. His name was Uesugi Kenshin, also known as the Dragon of Echigo. Konnichiwa. Welcome to the story of the Dragon of Echigo. Today, we look at the life of Uesugi Kenshin, who's known not only for his military brilliance, but also as a warrior who upheld the principle of gi, meaning righteousness or moral duty. Kenshin was born in 1530 as the fourth son of Nanao Tamekage, a shugodai or deputy military governor of Echigo province, which is modern-day Niigata prefecture. He was originally named Nagao Torachio, but he changed his name several times. First to Nagao Kagetora at his coming of age, then to Uesugi Masatora and Uesugi Terutora, before finally settling on Uesugi Kenshin. Throughout this video, we use the name Uesugi Kenshin, which is the one best remembered in history. At the age of 7, Kenshin was separated from his family and entrusted to Rinsenji, a Zen temple, to begin his training as a Buddhist monk. This means Tamekage, his father, removed him as the potential successor. Kenshin was not his favorite. After his father's death, it was Harukage, Kenshin's older brother, who succeeded the family headship. And what has become of the young Kenshin in the temple? He is said to have been immersed in playing siege games using a model of the castle. This shows Kenshin's innate tactical mind. After his father's death, unrest in Echigo province intensified. Harukage was too sickly to control his vassals, who began to openly rebel against him. Unable to control his vassal alone, Harukage, in the Kasugayama castle, recalled Kenshin from the temple and entrusted him with the defense of Tochiyo Castle, a branch castle of the Nagao clan. Kenshin was only 14 years old. And his first battle took place the following year. In an attempt to take advantage of Kenshin's youth and inexperience, the rebels attacked Tochiyo Castle, but they underestimated Kenshin's ability, which proved fatal. Given that his forces were outnumbered by the enemy, Kenshin would normally have opted for a siege, but he dared to fight in the field. Kenshin divided his troops into two, one of which was sent to sneak behind the enemy lines and raid them. When this confused the enemy, the main body launched a frontal assault. Kenshin destroyed an outnumbered enemy. At the age of 15, Kenshin demonstrated his military strategist talent. Kenshin continued to win battle after battle. There were growing calls among the retainers of Nagao clan for Kenshin to become their leader. Unable to resist, Harukage handed the clan's headship over to Kenshin. Kenshin continued to subjugate the rebels. The war-torn Echigo was swiftly unified under Kenshin's leadership. In 1551, he was 22. After unifying Echigo, Kenshin engaged in wars with the most powerful daimyo of his time. These included Hojo Ujiyasu, Takeda Shingen, and Oda Nobunaga. But unlike other daimyo of the Sengoku period, he didn't fight for his own territorial expansion. He fought for justice. He fought for those who were invaded and asked him for help. He just couldn't tolerate invaders. This is most likely a result of his strong dedication to Buddhism. Before going into battle, Kenshin would always offer prayers to Bishamonten and practice Zen meditation. Conflict with the Hojo Ujiyasu arose the year following unifying Echigo. Ujiyasu was the daimyo of the powerful Hojo clan based in Sagami Province, modern-day Kanagawa Prefecture. Ujiyasu advanced northwards and invaded Kozuke Province, the territory of the prestigious Uesugi clan. Norimasa, head of the Uesugi clan, sought refuge in Echigo following an assault by Ujiyasu. Kenshin decided to attack Hojo to help Uesugi recover lost ground. In 1561, Kenshin launched a massive expedition to confront Ujiyasu. Kenshin advanced southward at breakneck speed, destroying Hojo's strongholds one after another. Overwhelmed by the momentum of Kenshin's advance, the lords on Hojo's side switched one after another to Kenshin's side. The rivalry culminated in the siege of Odawara. The Odawara castle was the Hojo clan's stronghold and was said to be impregnable. Kenshin besieged the castle with an army of over 100,000. He further provoked Ujiyasu by setting fires around the castle, but Ujiyasu didn't respond. There is an interesting anecdote. Amidst the siege of Odawara, Kenshin unfolded his lunchbox in front of the enemy and began eating his lunch leisurely. Seeing this, the Hojo forces fired at Kenshin at once, but the bullets all missed him. The story may be a fiction created in later generations, but it recounts Kenshin's belief that he was a reincarnation of Bishamonten and was protected by Buddha's power. Eventually, Kenshin couldn't capture Odawara castle. He lifted the siege and returned to Echigo. What can we infer from the outcome of this battle? First, it testifies to the impenetrability of Odawara castle, that not even a military genius like Kenshin could conquer it. At the same time, however, Kenshin recaptured much of the former Uesugi territory. And the mere fact that Kenshin advanced his large army to Hojo's stronghold testifies to his extraordinary ability. During Kenshin's return journey to Echigo, Uesugi Norimasa handed over headship of the Uesugi family to Kenshin at the Tsurugaoka Hachiman Shrine in Kamakura. This is when Kenshin's family name was changed from Nagao to Uesugi. Kenshin is best remembered for his rivalry with Takeda Shingen, nicknamed the Tiger of Kai. Takeda Shingen was a daimyo of Kai province, which is now Yamanashi Prefecture. Shingen launched an invasion of Shinano, the southwestern neighbor of Echigo, seeking to expand his territory. Local warlords in Shinano, like Murakami Yoshikiyo, couldn't resist Shingen's attack and fled to Echigo for protection. Once again, Kenshin stood up to help them. He just couldn't let the invaders ravage his neighbors. The rivalry between Uesugi Kenshin and Takeda Shingen culminated in the battles of Kawanakajima in the northern Shinano province. Kawanakajima is a fertile area located between two rivers. It is also a strategic military location where several highways leading to other provinces converge. Therefore, conquering Kawanakajima meant conquering the whole of Shinano province. Neither warlord could afford to let the other hold it uncontested. The battles were fought 5 times between 1553 and 1564, but the most intense one was the fourth battle, which took place in 1561. Their rivalry became almost mythic. The Dragon of Echigo versus the Tiger of Kai, each seeing the other as a worthy adversary. One of the most dramatic moments, possibly apocryphal but widely recounted, was when Kenshin personally charged into Shingen's command tent, striking at him with a sword. Shingen, caught off guard, is said to have deflected the blows with his iron war fan until his retainers intervened. The aftermath of the battle was devastating for both sides, with the Takeda losing over 4,000 men and the Uesugi losing over 3,000. Despite the carnage, the outcome was inconclusive. Both sides withdrew, claiming partial victories, and strategic balance remained unchanged. Kenshin also fought against Oda Nobunaga, known as one of the unifiers of Sengoku Japan. Initially, Kenshin and Nobunaga maintained a good relationship. At one time, they even formed an ally. However, Nobunaga was trying to expand his territory to Kaga and Echu, the western neighbors of Echigo. Now he became a threat to Kenshin. Furthermore, he received requests for help from those who were fighting against Nobunaga. One of them was Kenyo, the head of the Ishiyama Honganji Temple in Osaka, the stronghold of Ikko Ikki, the militant insurrection of true Pure Land Buddhism. Kenyo was fighting the Ishiyama Honganji War against Nobunaga, who ruthlessly cracked down on Ikko Ikki Buddhist forces. Another was Ashikaga Yoshiaki, the 15th shogun of the Ashikaga shogunate. Nobunaga initially had Yoshiaki as his lord, but gradually usurped his power. Kenshin decided to fight for those who were oppressed by Nobunaga. He first laid siege warfare to Nanao Castle, the stronghold of Hatakeyama clan in Noto province, which was controlled by pro-Nobunaga elements. Nanao Castle was known for its robust design, which utilized the steep mountainous terrain. But Kenshin managed to capture the castle, following an epidemic outbreak and an eruption of mutiny inside the castle. In retaliation, Nobunaga sent a massive army of 40,000 troops led by Shibata Katsuie to defeat Kenshin. Shibata Katsuie, Nobunaga's highest-ranking retainer, was nicknamed Oni Shibata, which means Shibata the Demon, because of his fierce battle style and enormous strength. The decisive battle between Kenshin and Katsuie took place at the Tedorigawa. Tedorigawa is a river that flows in southern Noto province. Although Kenshin had only half as many troops as Katsuie, he executed a clever nighttime feint that tricked Katsuie into launching a frontal assault across the Tedori River. At the critical moment, Kenshin ordered the floodgates opened, turning the river into a deadly trap. Katsuie's troops, unable to use their firearms effectively, were pushed into the river and suffered heavy losses, as many as 1,000 men. The battle ended in a decisive Uesugi victory. It was also one of the rare defeats suffered by Oda Nobunaga, who was otherwise known for his strategic brilliance and military dominance. With this momentum, Kenshin's overthrowing Nobunaga now appeared to be a reality. But not long after the victory at Tedorigawa, Kenshin collapsed. Some say from stomach cancer, others say from overdrinking. The Dragon of Echigo died at the age of 49. His death sparked chaos within the Uesugi clan and among those who had come to depend on him. It was also a relief for Nobunaga, who saw Kenshin as one of the greatest threats for his unification efforts. The Sengoku period was littered with ambition and conquest. But the story of Uesugi Kenshin, a monk in armor, a general who prayed, a dragon who chose purpose over power, reminds us that faith, even in the heart of the battlefield, can shape the course of history. Thank you for joining this journey through the life of Uesugi Kenshin. If you found it fascinating, please like and subscribe to explore more legends about the history of Japan. ありがとうございました。さようなら。